Hey guys, it's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. Just wanted to do a video talking about how things were going and say hello to everybody. So, I just beat the video game Technomancer. I know I had spoken about that one recently. That was $7.99 on the Microsoft Store for a physical copy with free shipping. I'm going to do a separate video talking about that game and what I thought about it, but overall I'll just say I'd say pleasantly surprised in most ways, without giving away too much information. We're pretty much set to close on our house in a few weeks, and then we're going to, do what we can do around the house to fix things up, and then we have someone coming in to do the remaining stuff, which is the big stuff, siding and changing, stuff in the bathroom and things like that, things of that nature that are bigger in scope. That's what they do. So, yeah, we're excited, but, we have a little bit of time before we close, fix things, and then, eventually move in, hopefully in a couple months. As I've said, a few months. Depends really how long everything takes, the weather, and, how they pace themselves, if they do two things at once, because some things can be done inside, some things can be done outside. So, yeah, really excited about that. Last night I had watched a movie with Beth called The Legend of Billie Jean. So there's this friend of mine, Carl, on Facebook. He mentioned it about 2 days ago maybe. He was like, I can't believe I work with people who don't know what The Legend of Billie Jean is. And a week prior, my friend Scott on Facebook mentioned it. He posted some kind of picture or something, and he mentioned the movie, and I was like, that's weird. And then like a couple weeks before that, it was on sale because they had an 80s Overdrive Blu-ray pack, which is 6 80s movies, all of them which the names of them escape me currently. And they weren't like, I don't think they were super popular 80s films. Like Billie Jean, The Legend of Billie Jean was probably the most popular out of the 6 because that one sounded familiar to me. So I ended up watching The Legend of Billie Jean last night. It was good. I thought it was a pretty decent movie. I know that everyone's crazy now about, like, feminism and women's rights and, empowering women and all this other stuff that I feel is mainly silly without getting too involved and too political with everyone on YouTube. But I could see people liking this movie because of that. I could also just see people liking it because it's really far-fetched, nowadays with someone shooting someone and then like running from the law and stealing from stores and stuff. It seems so far-fetched. They would catch that person rather quickly, but back in the 80s they probably didn't have the same means they do now. So it was an interesting movie, and the characters were cute and whatever. So I like stuff like that. I like Christian Slater. He was cool, and the main girl, I think her name is Helen Slater, if I remember correctly, the actress. But anyhow, it was a cute film. I also watched the movie Terrifier last week, which is a horror movie, like a slasher film with this crazy clown. Everyone's talking about this movie. I would look it up if I were you. It's a good slasher flick. It's not something I would necessarily buy, but I definitely think it's worth a watch if you like horror movies. He's like this menacing clown who goes around and kills people, and in really outlandish ways. And yeah, it was cool. It was a cool flick. What else? I was going to pick up BioShock Collection this week because my friend AJ talked about it, and I've never actually played much of the BioShock games, and I know they're very good. So I played the first one years ago, probably a couple hours in, and I liked it, but I never really played it. I'm trying to think how I even played it. I don't think I bought it. Maybe I couldn't have rented it. Maybe I borrowed it from a friend or something. So, anyhow, I was going to pick it up. It was $20 at GameStop new, $18.99 used. So I was like, oh, that's a pretty good deal for 3 games. 3, popular, really, like, good games, too. Not, like, just, like, crap. And, it ended up that, I'm trying to think what road I should take here. It ended up that now the price changed because it's Wednesday, and GameStop changes their prices on Wednesdays. So, I missed out, and now the price has doubled, so I will not be picking up the BioShock collection in the near future. They are having a, come on, dickhead, they are having a pro weekend on Saturday where when you're a pro member, you can go in and get certain discounts and certain games are cheaper. So there's a chance there's something there I'd pick up, but most of the time it's not anything great or it's not something I'd want. I had my eye on State of Decay 2, and I'm still going to do a 14-day free game pass with Xbox and play it, but I've learned something about the game that I think has changed my opinion on buying it. So State of Decay 2 is an open-world zombie survival game where you have to build a base, and it has like strategy-type elements in that regard, or management elements, but you can also fight the zombies and have friends online play with you and all this stuff. It sounded really good, and I liked State of Decay 1, but it just felt like it was lacking something due to missing the multiplayer aspect. So this one has multiplayer, but, and here's the big but, you don't make any progress when you're the co-op player going into your friend's game, and that's sort of a turnoff, because if my friend's playing and it's his adventure, and I go in and do things with him, I think, sorry about that, that was my phone, you get to keep, like, items. So if you pick up a weapon, you get to keep it, but you don't get to keep resources. So if you find something that can go to your base, you don't keep it. And nothing in the game you do changes your game. So your game, you'd be back at the first level still, or back at the very beginning of the game, and your friend might be at the end. It doesn't matter. You're not actually making any progress. So that kind of sucks, because you know, I play online with friends, but I also want to play alone, and I don't want to have to start over every time I play because I've gotten far with friends, and that doesn't really matter. So State of Decay is sort of off my radar at this point. It's only $30. It's probably a good game. It looks good. But I think we're going to hold off on State of Decay 2. So now Bioshock's out of the loop. State of Decay 2 is out of the loop. I'm still waiting on Shenmue to get a release date, hopefully by year end, because I do want to play those again. The collection, the HD collection. I know I've mentioned those prior. And I played the network test of Dark Souls Remastered. And I liked it, but it really doesn't warrant a $40 price tag for me, because I just beat it like 6 months ago. So it was completely like fresh in my mind. It wasn't like I was like, you know, forgetting things. And I was like, I just beat this. I have no desire to beat this again right now. It doesn't look that much better. It looks pretty good. It looks a little better. Maybe 20% better. You know, they did some lighting things. They changed little animations in the backgrounds. But I wouldn't say it's night and day different than the 360 version I played. Yeah, the frame rate's a lot better. Excuse me. The frame rate's a lot better, but the graphics really aren't. The gameplay was so bogged down with people that you couldn't make any progress because people just kept invading each other and killing each other. So that will eventually die down, and you'll have like an invasion here or there. But that's more, for me, a $20 game. I do want it, and I will pick it up eventually, just to play through it again, hopefully with friends, because they've fixed and changed a lot of the online components. But yeah, it's not worth $40 to me because I just beat it, and there's not enough changes to warrant it, if you ask me. I did want to pick up eventually, and it's got really bad reviews, but I did want to pick up Past Cure, which is a sort of Max Payne-looking, creepy, horror-ish game with some guy, and there's some mystery going on, and it just looks really weird. It's made by 8 people, which is phenomenal that 8 people can make a game that looks, you know, that good. The graphics look pretty nice. It's like $30 or $20 right now. That's one of those games I'll wait till I find it on clearance at like Target or GameStop for like $10 or $8 because I know it's not going to be great. They've supposedly mixed a lot of different kinds of games. There's like puzzles, there's shooting, there's stealth. So I do want to check it out. It looks interesting. I like those under-the-radar type of titles like Technomancer, Deadly Premonition. I mentioned that before. You know, those kind of like B-level type of games. So I do want to play it, just not right now. And then I also checked out, lots of games I guess, I also checked out 2 other games. A Way Out, which is a co-op only, online or offline, game where you're breaking out of prison. And you and your friend have to do things in conjunction. So like I was playing with my friend Brian online. You only need one copy of the disc. One person has the disc, the other person downloads the game, and then they can play. Make sure the phone isn't going to fall. They can play with you online with your one disc, so that's cool. I think the player who downloaded the game, though, doesn't get achievements. He said he doesn't care, but supposedly you can go back and just then put the disc in his Xbox, and then the achievements will pop up. So whatever, he can always do that, I guess. But we played like through one mission of that. That's really fun. I just don't see playing through it again once I beat it. Like, he was distracting a guard, and then I had to like go around and sneak and pick up the key, and then come back before the guard saw me while he was like distracted. So it was a definitely big co-op game, which I enjoy. I enjoy things like Army of Two. Now I know A Way Out isn't essentially an action game. I mean, there are action elements, I think, later on where you shoot and do things, but still, it's an interesting concept. It's $30 right now. Maybe when it's like $15, I'll pick it up. It's not something like I said, that you can most likely play through more than once, even though I guess you can change the outcome in ways while you're playing because you have different choices of things. So I'll see, but so far I like what I played of it. And finally, I played another one I really wanted to play that I played now for a while was Don't Starve. I think it's called the Console Edition or the Mega Edition. I can't think of what it's called right now. It looks kind of like a Tim Burton film, and it's a roguelike where you go around collecting different materials like grass, wood, flint, all types of stuff like that, and you have to build things, and you obviously need the items to build things, and you want to last and stay alive as long as you can in this like open world. There's enemies to fight. You can create fire. Every night you have to create a fire so that it doesn't get dark, because when it gets dark, if you don't have a fire, monsters come out and just kill you automatically. It's pretty difficult, but it's also pretty fun. I could see myself picking it up when it's probably, I would say it's probably worth 20 bucks. So maybe when it's like 15 or 10 again, it's not something I would pick up right away. You can unlock new characters with different abilities, and there is like an adventure mode where there's a story that you could sort of go through and do things in a different way. But it was pretty cool. It was also sort of frustrating because I'm not the biggest fan of like collecting items and like building things and managing and material gathering type of stuff, like Minecrafty. So it's not as in-depth as Minecraft, but it's definitely got that sort of building stuff crap element. So I was on the fence with that, but I did like the game. So that may be a future purchase if I find it really cheap. Trying to think of what else. State of Decay, Dark Souls. I don't think I played anything else. Yeah, that's really it, guys. So there's a quick video. I guess not too quick, 13 minutes. Just talking about some games I've been playing and movies I've been watching. Watch anything else? I don't think so. A little bit of wrestling here and there. Kenny Omega is fighting Okada again at the next pay-per-view, which is great. And Impact has been doing a lot with the guys from Lucha Underground, so that's interesting. And that's about it. So, Rage 2 got announced. Really, really liked Rage 1. I thought it was a great game. The ending was not good, but the game was really fun. I love the open world sort of Mad Max feel. So as long as it still has that, and it's single player, but it could have online elements, but I don't want it to be an online shooter, then I will pick that up too. So thanks guys for watching. It's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. Be good.